All right, I just wanted to add on the last slide that in terms of interpreting the scores, uh, the manual advises that if you want to avoid false positives, so if you want to make sure that people are not scoring in the severe or moderate or mild range that don't belong there, then the manual advises adopting a relatively lower threshold. However, if you're doing research and you need to have a really homogeneous sample, so you want to ensure that they have severe depression, then the manual advises obtaining a cut score. So it actually recommends raising the cut score to reduce the number of false positives. So just being aware of that. So we're going to talk about the norm and standardization. So basically, when they were standardizing this instrument, they had two major groups. The first group involved outpatient samples, so it entailed 4 different clinical samples from hospitals, which had 500 clients. And this consisted of 63% women, 37% males, and interestingly enough, 91% Caucasians, and very small minorities. So, for example, 4% Asian Americans and 1% Hispanics. The other sample group was 120 students from the University of New Brunswick, and this consisted of 56% women and 44% men. Interesting enough, this was pretty much almost not 100% Caucasian, so very small percentage of non-Caucasians. And all patients were diagnosed by experienced psychologist or psychiatrist. So in terms of the validity and the reliability, I'll just start with the validity. So for the validity, the Cronbach alpha was 0.79 to 0.93, so pretty high. The Cronbach alpha among the low-income black population was 0.9, and the convergent validity with different instruments was, for example, 0.71 for the Hamilton Psychiatric Rating Scale, so that's pretty solid. For the scale for suicide ideation, which was 0.37. For the Beck Hopelessness Scale was 0.68, and for the Hamilton Psychiatric Rating Scale for depression, it was again 0.71. So pretty high convergent validity with other instruments. And the manual even mentions that when they compared different instruments and looked at the different constructs, they really measured similar constructs. In terms of reliability, the coefficient alpha was 0.92 for the outpatient group, so very high. The test-retest reliability was 0.93, so high again. And then for the item correlation ranged from 0.39, which was loss of interest in sex, all the way to 0.7, which was loss of pleasure. So the pleasure was at the top, and loss of interest in sex was at the bottom. For the other group, the college group, the coefficient alpha was 0.93, so very high again. The retest test reliability was 0.64 to 0.9, so again pretty high when they re-administered the test, which 2 weeks later. And the item total correlation ranged from 0.27 to 0.74 for this group. So, and again, the items were loss of interest in sex and loss of pleasure. So the same items as the other sample group.